Josh, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. You're now a month into your return from a serious knee injury. How has the last month been for you?
Yeah, it's been pretty up and down. I started off the preseason fully fit, and then I actually copped another knock to the same knee where put me out for an extra 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, definitely up and down. I think one of the most challenging things, like I was saying to you previously, was just mentally getting back to like playing and getting a feel for ticking the ball around and whatnot, and positioning and stuff. So yeah, it's been definitely a roller coaster ride, but I'm just really happy to be back on the field playing with the boys.
So how helpful was the pre-season in getting back? You did mention toward the end of last year that you were ahead of schedule, really happy with your recovery.
Yeah.
How important was the pre-season in getting ready for this year?
I was, I think at about 5.5, 6 months, I was ready to play. I was saying, it's like, I'm ready to go. And then I sort of just tried to keep the off season, tried to stay fit. And then I actually started pre-season fairly fit and fairly comfortable. I think the little setback where I copped a knock against, I think it was Moreland City in a friendly game, it didn't feel like anything. I actually played on the rest of the game to the 60th minute, and then, I don't know, my knee blew up, and it was actually a bit of a meniscus tear. And then, rebuilding back into that was pretty difficult mentally, because you think that all the hard work's done, you think that all the rehab's behind you, and then another little setback is sometimes very hard to swallow. But I'm just, like I said, happy to be back out there playing, and now it's just a fact of building on what I'm doing currently, and just that's about it.
With the injury, what part of it was more challenging, the mental side of it or the physical side of it?
I'd say definitely mentally. Just because, like, when you sort of set out your rehab and everything, it's very easy to have your goal and then say, okay, I'm gonna work towards this. I think that with the setbacks that I had previously, you find it very hard to sort of look back and be like, oh, okay, another setback, another injury, and then I think mentally is the biggest struggle. But I think that coming back to playing is also a little bit more of a struggle as well, because like I said, you're setting up your rehab to get to this final goal, and then when you're back playing, you're sort of like, okay, now I need to find the flow of things again, what my final goals are and everything. Rehab's very, very structured. It's very, do this, do that, and you're back to where you are physically anyway, but not really mentally, if that makes sense.
So how, within the last month, how has the recovery process been after games?
Really well, actually. I feel like my recovery after games is quite positive. So like my body feels not as fatigued as I would have imagined anyway, but I do feel like if I get a knock or something in a game, that my body's still getting used to that sort of physical contact, because I haven't played for a year or so. So yeah.
And talking about the physical contact, was there any kind of cobwebs to kind of blast out before you could really get into like full flight, so to speak?
Yeah, I honestly still feel like now I'm not 100% in challenges and stuff, and I think it's more of just a mental barrier. It's something that I'm going to have to overcome, and I think that it would just come with game time, playing more and more. But yeah, I think like I said, just the amount of setbacks, they sort of eventually build up mentally and they get to you. So you just got to keep trying to like build away at the wall, like break away at the wall, sort of thing. And eventually, hopefully, I can be out there 100% confident again to go into challenges and to do everything free flowing. But it is a bit of a working process, to be honest.
Yeah. You spent some of last year coaching the club's under-20 side as an assistant. How was that experience?
It was a great learning experience. I actually learned a real lot about football from a different point of view. So I always felt like I knew a bit as a player, as I guess all players would say to you. But I think taking a step back out and just sort of assessing the game, not purely position-wise as a midfielder or wherever you play, it's pretty interesting to go, okay, we're set up like this, and how can we change formation in order to, affect the opposition, and where can we play through, so it's almost like a different view on football, and it definitely like makes you think about the game in a different perspective, which is positive, I think, and I think it teaches me a lot going forward in terms of playing. So yeah.
Is it something that interests you for the future? Is it something you want to continue on? Obviously, once the playing side of things is done way down the track, is it something that interests you?
Yeah, most definitely. I coach some of the young ones at Gully at the moment as well, the under 10s.
Yep.
And I think that the biggest thing for me is you can actually have a real positive influence on the player's career. Like you can make someone a good footballer. I think that's the most rewarding, gratifying thing that you can do. I think that's why I do it, to be honest. So definitely I can see myself coaching in the future. At what level, what degree, I'm not really sure, because I really sort of want to focus on my football and
Sure.
where I'm going at the start, and then obviously in the future you never know, but I do definitely enjoy it. That's why I do it still at the moment.
Sure, you obviously come to the club with A-League experience, and obviously all about the setups at
Yep.
certain clubs there. How does Green Gully compare to some of the A-League setups that you've been part of?
For a semi-professional club, Green Gully definitely have an elite setup in terms of coaching staff, the way that they approach things. Even like Sammy, for example, he's brilliant. He's always got your strip out ready. He's got all your nutritional side of things covered. They really try and look after the players, which is probably the biggest pro, I guess. But Green Gully's always making step forwards as well. The pitch that they've fixed, the changing rooms, they look unreal at the moment, and I'm sure we'll just continue to improve it. So yeah, definitely really well. They draw up next to A-League clubs.
In terms of, does it allow you to kind of focus on football more, that allows you to get the most out of yourself as a player? Is that how, I guess, you would describe it, the environment at Gully?
Yeah, definitely. It's always a lot easier to come to training and know that you're going to have to, you can put in the best and get the best out of yourself when the people around you are, give you the best environment too. So like, just for example, prehab before training, all the bands will be out. Everyone's sort of got their real structure in terms of, we're going to do this before we do this, like warm up and go into training. It's quite structured, so it does definitely benefit your football, like session after session. So yeah.
Sure. How would you describe the coaching staff, being able to work with them?
Yeah, really good. Majority of the time they're very approachable. So, if you ever have any questions or queries and you want to learn in certain aspects, or you're doing something right or you're doing something wrong, they're all very open for you to come, and chat to them and improve. But I think just on a personal level, like me personally, especially experiencing injuries and stuff, the best thing about the coaching stuff is that they actually treat you like a human being. So like, it's funny in football, sometimes you can just be a number and stuff, but that you're a little bit more than that at Gully, and they really look after you, make sure that you're mentally getting along well, because they know how much football means to you. So it's a credit to them, but they're definitely approachable on and off the field, which is really good.